Well, before I went, it looked like I was leaving, Paul may have mentioned that he had something he wanted to discuss, and I'm more than happy to stick around.
Okay, it's 10:48. Policy and Procedure Committee, May 30, 2024. Please call the roll, Amanda.
Ducat.
Yes.
Barons.
Yes.
Alt.
Here.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Sure.
Yep. Back in regular session. I said that appointments will be made. County board meeting, correspondence. Find it now.
Energy.
Somebody trying to sell it. Okay, we can move on to the claims. Everyone has gotten a copy of the claims. In addition to that, at the February meeting, we decided to hold back on paying the American Environmental because we had not gotten any money yet. So that now we have enough money to be able to make that payment. So claim is back in the amount of $13,005.59. Around if anybody wants to see it. And adding that to the claims that already received. So I'm going to entertain a motion to approve the claims. Mr. Ducat, second. Mr. Barons. Roll, please.
Ducat.
Yes.
Barons.
Yes.
Alt.
Yes.
Whitlow.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Any old business to come before the committee this morning? Any new business?
Yes. So I forgot to have Amanda put this on the agenda, but I always ask for a separate motion at the county board meeting for liquor licenses. So every year liquor licenses expire on June 30th, so we have to approve them at the June county board meeting. If you recall last year, your body decided to allow businesses to apply for a sale before noon on Sunday license. Last year, after that was approved, we only had one establishment apply for it. So this year with the new renewals, 6 of the 10 applicants are applying for that sale before noon on Sunday. So it's going to be an additional $1,500 coming in, so that's good news. The ones that are choosing not to are either not open on Sunday or don't want to deal with anyone before noon on Sunday. So anyway, I just wanted to have you guys look this over, forward it to the board, and then, like I said, we'll have a separate discussion and action on the liquor licenses at the board meeting in case anyone has any questions. But it's all of the usual suspects. No one new has applied, but we do have the 6 that are applying for that sale before noon.
Do we want to recommend sending it to the board?
Yes, we do.
Good. That being the case, is there any other new business to come before the committee? Yeah.
Yes, I am looking and I'm hoping I'm in the right committee meeting to do so to increase the hotel per diem rate. It is currently at $140. I'm suggesting to 180, and here's my 2 examples as to why. Julie has a planning and zoning meeting in Champaign in August, and the negotiated rate for the conference is $189 for the hotel. And then the second thing is, one of my board review members had to go to Springfield in May to attend a class that she was mandated to take and pass. And she had the only hotel she could find, and this was a Ramada Inn, was $177 a night with taxes and fees. So the $140 wouldn't cover either of these. And then I went ahead and calculated if somebody were to drive to Springfield from, and I just put in the county building, it's 275 miles at 67 cents a mile. You're looking at $185 if somebody chose to drive back and forth to a class. This was Springfield. A lot of my classes are in Springfield, which is why I used that as an example.
How soon do we need to get this done?
Well, I put in a claim for my board of review member for what it cost her, because I don't think it's fair that she should have to eat the cost when this was the cheapest hotel she could find. It was I wouldn't have stayed there. It was a sub-quality Ramada Inn. I would have ate the cost and paid where I wanted to stay. She isn't making a salary per se, or she's making a minimum salary, so I guess I don't know what the procedure would be to at least approve hers, that's all she already did, because she had to take the class. I'm sure I could find more examples, and there's a lot of times that when I'm going.
That claim is gonna come before the tax and zoning committee. I would say probably the best thing is to let the committee make that decision. Reason being that maybe if we are gonna increase it, maybe we need to do a little bit of research and see exactly what, I mean, the number you're saying might be good, but maybe it should even be more than that, I don't know. If there's some way we can research that and try and find out what, I hesitate to use the word reasonable, because apparently it's not the case anymore.
Well, and I did some searching as far as like, I looked today, like what would a hotel be in Springfield today? Obviously, when I put it on the internet, it doesn't give me the fees and the taxes included. They weren't very high, but then when I went to take a class that ended up getting canceled last month, the 140 wouldn't have covered it either. So I just feel like depending on what's going on in the area, maybe the searches on Google, they fluctuate their rates, that easily, so.
Like I said, my concern would just be if we're gonna raise it, that we do enough, raise it enough, so we could research that and we can get it on the agenda for next month if that works. And in
Sure.
the meantime, do this.
Where does the money come from? Does it come out of the department budget? So I would suggest when we,
Some of these are reimbursable and some are not. For example, if board member goes to a UCCI meeting, they give us some reimbursements for that, which really normally more than covers our expenses.
But we have a policy in place that reimburses up to a certain amount for lodging, up to a certain amount for meals. So that's what Mia's talking about is increasing that amount.
I guess I would suggest whatever amount we come up with, if it isn't already policy, that it is with the approval of the department. That way somebody's not maxing out the amount that they can get and upgrading themselves into something fancy. But at the same time, then they're not having to stay in a hotel that may or may not be safe.
Hopefully that's what our research can help us to identify.
But having the department head have some control over it, because it does affect their budget.
I mean, most of these are gonna be expenses either in Springfield, Champaign, or Chicago. Maybe some in Peoria, but I'll be able to come up with some idea. Some of those rates are.
Then it becomes, how often do you want to revisit it with the way things are going up? Or you just set it high enough that it hopefully is good for a few years.
Maybe it comes on to the day where it isn't even profitable to go to sleep. Very expensive.
We know it fluctuates, we know that for sure.
Anyway, if that's acceptable, I think that's the best way to proceed.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Any other new business to come before the committee this
I
morning?
wouldn't say this is new business, but I do have a question. It was noticed that there's a sign on the door regarding animals are not allowed in the building unless they're service dogs. Is that a policy that was already in place? Every blue moon will get somebody that walks in with their dog. I'm just curious where that came from.
I don't know, because at one point, the animal control was bringing animals in.
Right, but one of the problems with doing that surfaced because one of the dogs relieved itself. And that's one of the reasons for not bringing dogs in. The other one has to do with if the dogs might happen to take a nip out of somebody. That exposes us from a liability standpoint. So I think if we have that sign on the door and somebody brings a dog in anyway and some problem develops, I don't know if that exonerates us from liability, but it certainly puts us in a much stronger position than if we didn't have the sign. Okay? Any other new business to come before the committee? Seeing none, it's 11 o'clock. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Mr. Barron, second by Mr. Duquette. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Meeting is adjourned.